everybody that has stuck around for yet another one of my hiatuses. I've been moving this past month or so and finally settled into my new place, so I'm kind of in a place where I can actually start filming some stuff, editing it, and actually getting it out on a reasonable schedule. Started school as well, so I'll be a bit busy with that, but I'm hoping that I can start getting some videos out a little bit more regularly now than I have before. So today I figured, since I was pretty well all settled into my new place, this is a very small selection of my plants that I have here at this apartment with me. A lot of them are still home at my parents' house. My mom is going to be taking care of those for me. I'm going to be bringing some more out next time I go home. But I only had so much room in my car while I was moving myself out here, so I took what I could and I'll get the rest later. But since I'm pretty well all settled into my apartment now, I figured that I would do a little tour around, show you my new setup, the way I've got everything arranged. I'm thinking one of my next videos is going to be like a kind of follow me around in a day of houseplant chores. There's a better name for that. There has to be a better name for that. That's a mouthful. Just kind of wanted to intro what today's video is going to be, give y'all a heads up about what to expect from me in the near future. I'm still not going to stick to a set schedule because I don't know how intense my school is going to get, where we're doing mostly online schooling because of the COVID restrictions, but I still want to try to be a little bit more frequent on here than I have been. It's been at least a month now since my last video, which was, I believe, the repot with me. I've gotten thrips from one of the plants in that video. I'm not impressed, but I've tried my best not to bring thrips to this apartment. So, fingers crossed that I didn't bring thrips to this apartment, but if I did, or regardless, once I feel like I've tackled that and the rest of the plants that are still at my parents' house, my mom is treating those for the thrips that are potentially still there. We haven't actually seen any in a hot second, but it was bad. It was bad. So she's still treating those, but once we've gotten that to a comfortable place where I think we've conquered it, I'm going to do a video and just kind of explain how I dealt with them, how I controlled everything, what I used to treat them to get rid of them. Yeah. The first place we're going to start on our tour is right over here. Now, this table is a bit of a mess, I will say, but it's kind of just been my catch-all table for various things. There's some wax warmers, some propagation bottles I have here ready for cuttings, filled up with water. Sneak peek of what the plant chore video is going to have in store for y'all. Some books over here, lighter for all the scented candles that I have, which is way too many, set of tarot cards, crystals, whatever. But plants wise, there's only 3. Up on the top shelf here we have a Schefflera arboricola, which is a dwarf umbrella plant, umbrella tree. They're pretty interchangeable. This is adorable. I got this from my good friend Caitlin at Tropical Jewels NL. When was that? I think that was a month or so ago. There's a bunch of new growth on this guy. The cutest little leaves. Very cute. Badly needs to be dusted, but she's cute. Down here is a very sad philodendron micans. Yeah, she's not doing too hot, but some of her new leaves are looking real nice, and of course there is some new growth coming in there, so I've got my fingers crossed that hopefully she recovers from whatever she's going through, but as of right now, she's going through it. Down here we have my Monstera deliciosa, which I'm very excited to say has its first fenestration, still connected on the edge there, but I am amazed with this leaf. Like, how How can something be so beautiful? And this leaf down there is gonna die, but you know, what can you do? Another nice big leaf there. And actually, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Let me see if I can kind of turn it there. Yeah, there we can kind of see it. There is a new leaf starting to form right along there. So we're going to have a new leafy friend, hopefully with a fenestration as big and beautiful as that babe. Just look from underneath. Isn't that something? And her roots, my goodness, those aerial roots are so chunky. We'll move over here now to my little crate shelf situation. I've got some more storage underneath here, as well as some spare pots over here that I have yet to put away. And yeah, we've got a little selection here. I've got some storage for some plant fertilizers, seeds, rooting hormone, that kind of thing. A little salt lamp up there. But these are the plants that I have on this shelf. We've got a good few peperomia on this shelf. We've got, well, a variegated spider plant back here, and a bunch of beautiful peperomia caparata red ripple propagations going here, which keep an eye out for those if y'all are somewhat local to me, because I may or may not be selling those soon. We have another peperomia down here, pearls and jade pothos cutting. Like, just look at how beautiful this leaf is. I absolutely love this variety of pothos. Over here we have another peperomia. This is the obtusifolia variegata, I believe the marble form. She's very pretty. I love the modeling on the leaves there. And we have an aluminum plant here, which is due for a chop. I'm going to be chopping the top off of her about there, I think, to try to propagate and get a bit of a fuller plant, because she's just one stem. She's a little tall, skinny girl, but we're going to get a nice full plant out of her eventually. Next up is the windowsill, which we're fighting against the light here, so I'm sorry if the lighting goes in and out weird. But we've got this, let me focus here. There we are. We've got this rainbow burst echinobivia. I'm bad at Latin, if y'all aren't already aware. We've got a philodendron pink princess here. Oops. With a new leaf coming out. Can we get a better... Yeah. So she's a little bit wrinkled up in there. If I can kind of show y'all how contorted she gets. But the last leaf that came out still had a lovely chunk of pink on her. So I'm excited for what this new leaf has to show us. This is the most leaves that she's had on her at any given time. When I first got her, she was only 3 leaves, but she could only really sustain 3 leaves, so every time a 4th leaf would come out, the oldest one would die off and she would go back to 3. But we've got 5 and a 6th is coming strong there, so I think she's hit her stride there. Another caparata red ripple baby there. An aloe brevifolia that is badly due for a repot into a bit of a better soil mix than she's in. Another red ripple baby. This one is another ripple type peperomia, but it is not the red ripple. This is actually Napoli Nights, which I got originally the mother plant from the feathered serpent, and this leaf fell off from shipping. It was one of the leaves that was pretty well, it was hanging by a thread from some mechanical damage from shipping. I threw it in a moss propagation box just to see if anything would happen, and sure enough, we've got a baby. Another red ripple baby there with some string of hearts leaves a little node there that I'm going to try to propagate. I had a piece fall off the plant while I was moving, and I figured I might as well keep it and see if something will happen. See if we can get a repeat of what happened here. But I don't think that one's quite going to make it. She's turning a little yellow up in the corner there. We've got a jade here. And a nice shot from over top of her. A compact jade. Crassula ovata compacta. She's due for a chop too soon, actually. And then we've got a philodendron atom. Well, actually, it's not a philodendron atom anymore. It is a thematophyllum little atom, I believe is the official name as decided by the plant scientists, the plant gods. It was the teeniest, tiniest little cutting I got in a trade, and the node was actually cut in half, presumably where the lady chopped it off of the plant. It was really tight internodal spacing, so she couldn't actually get a clean cut on it, which I was a little bit worried because it was only one leaf with a half a node, but we managed to get some growth, and we actually have another leaf coming in there, which we can kind of see. Yeah, we can kind of see there. There's a fourth new leaf opening up there. We've got a Peperomia obtusifolia variegata, the marble variety, rooting there. I rooted that in my propagation box, and it had no leaves on it when I put it in soil. When I potted it in soil, but figured why not. I had to move, so just stuck it in soil and hope for the best. We have a lovely cactus here that I don't know the name of. That came also from Tropical Jewels NL, so shout out Caitlin. She's a beauty. I love her. She's spiky. We've got the big one here is a lemon lime philodendron. Some people also call this a neon philodendron, but neon, as far as I know, is an upright variety of philodendron, whereas the lemon lime is the trailing heartleaf version with that coloring. But regardless, it is a beautiful plant. I got that in a trade from a lovely lady, and it's rooted up great and is growing happily in a new pot of soil. We've got a little succulent here. I don't entirely know what it is. I have so many of them. I think they might be ghost plants, which I believe is a Pachyvaria. Maybe it's a Graptovaria. It's cute though, whatever it is, it's cute. And then, I gotta take a deep breath. And then over here, which also just had a new leaf come out recently, is Sansevieria cylindrica, the starfish Sansevieria, which I believe is also called Sansevieria Bonsell, which also, Sansevieria was reclassified as Dracaena. I'm not as willing to switch that one as I am with the philodendron to thematophyllum switch. I'll always call these snake plants Sansevieria. On the table below the window there, I'll just do a quick overview. Ignore the mess. I've got some lights to string up all over the apartment that I haven't gotten around to yet. I need to buy some thumbtacks. But we have, from the Feathered Serpent, a beautiful philodendron moonlight, which is actually putting out the first new leaf since I got it. I know it's dusty as heck, but I've been looking for washcloths and I haven't quite been able to find them yet in my boxes. But we have a new leaf coming out right here, and then actually we might be able to see another new little leaf poking out the very bottom there. So I'm excited to see how that's going to look when she finally unfurls. I got this plant as a treat to myself when I got my first check from my new job this summer. So she's a favorite. I love her. Move her over here for now. We have got my jade, just a normal jade, Crassula ovata. You know, I'm not good with the Latin. She's cute. She's cute. She's been with me through a lot. I think she's actually going to need a new pot soon, which is exciting. I'm also, I think, going to give her a chop, the first chop actually, since I grew her from a leaf. So, I'll update y'all though. I'll do a video on whatever I end up doing with her. We've got here, ooh, that's some pretty lighting. Crassula ovata variegata, variegated jade. I absolutely love the coloring on these leaves. Like, wow. And the sun stress makes them go pink, which is just something else entirely. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. This is one of my newest plants from Faith Greenhouses in Lewisport. I actually ordered this in a group order with a couple of plant friends that I've done group orders with before. It is a Philodendron Imperial Red. She's a little bit limp because she just got watered today, but she's pretty and she's putting out a new leaf. I don't know if we're going to be able to see. Tiny little new leaf starting in there. Doesn't really pick up on camera, but she's beautiful. And then, as y'all know, I have my beautiful Prince of Orange philodendron as well, with a new leaf coming. Again, another very dusty plant. This leaf is starting to mature out to its darker green color now, but it's still something beautiful. Next, we have these two babes, which are also from Faith Greenhouses in Lewisport, but I didn't get those in a group order with a friend. I actually got one of my friends from Central, shout out to the other Caitlin, to pick these up for me and then bring them in when she was coming in on a little vacation. This one is the ruby, so Ficus elastica ruby rubber plant. Just look at the pink on those leaves. That is something stunning. And this one over here is the Taneki. But even though this leaf is all kinds of disfigured, I think the variegation on this one is probably the most beautiful. Of course, that's how it always happens, isn't it? But they both have new leaves coming in. Show you that one there as well. Both have new leaves coming in. They just have yet to open. Absolutely love these two so much. Next shelf we're going to look at here is the shelf that I keep most of my school supplies on, where I'm doing all online courses. I have them set up just next to the chair that I'll be doing all my classwork in. We have, again, a little bit of a crate set up here. There is my newest plant that I've gotten, and I'm officially actually on a plant ban, so I'm not buying any more for a little while. But we have a beautiful Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, which has actually been having a rough go of it, as you can see from these leaves. What's left of the leaf. Yeah, she had a pretty rough go of it. That leaf has some damage as well. This leaf here is actually in really good shape for the state of the plant. It did not take shipping very well at all, but since I got her home, she's putting out a new leaf. So I'm excited to see, first of all, the size that this leaf is going to get to, because there were some really big leaves, it seems like, on this plant, and then we got some smaller leaves. Like, this is the size of the most recent one that has opened. And then, so that's here. Then there was one over here, which got a lot of damage. One over here. And then down here, which is pretty big compared to this little guy here. So over the course of, 3 nodes, there's been a lot of shrinkage in size. So I'm hoping that this leaf, now that it's in a stable environment, is going to start getting bigger to equate more to the size of this guy. Over here next to that, we have my neon pothos. Again, there's a little bit of spotting on the leaf there, but still a beautiful plant. It's been a pretty slow grower as for the rate of growth of the pothos plants that I have. But next to it, we have a beautiful pearls and jade pothos, which is putting out some beautiful new leaves. This vine is actually kind of like curling around itself, but it makes it kind of look fuller in a way, so I'm happy with it. It looks cool. Just look at those leaves. And then down here is another new plant that I got while I was plant shopping with a new friend. He also got one of these, so matching plants, no big deal. Fishbone cactus is what this one is called, and I can't remember the Latin off the top of my head, but this is a wild looking plant. There's aerial roots going crazy at the ends of these cactus segments. Like you can see here, there's a bunch of little aerial roots there. But overall, I love how kind of wild this cactus looks. Epiphyte, sorry. It's an epiphytic cactus as well, so hence the aerial roots. It's going to want to try to climb. And I think, actually, that this piece is going to try to climb the crate. So we'll see how that goes. I might have to move this guy if it starts to become one with the crate. Let's look over onto the next shelf here. Sneak peek. In the front here, we've got Peperomia beetle, which is Peperomia angulata. Oh, we've got a Peperomia obtusifolia green form here. That is same situation as I had with the variegata, but it is actually starting to produce leaves now. So I put them in the prop box at the same time, same day, and I took them out the same day, potted them up, and this one is just kind of miles and bounds ahead, which is pretty well to be expected for variegated versus green form versions of the same plant. Back here, I'll show you before I move on to the other side, is a pothos enjoy. Enjoy? I don't entirely know how to pronounce it. It's the one where it's N apostrophe joy. Very pretty variegation on the leaves. There is a new little leaf coming in as well. Some of the older leaves, like that one, kind of looks more pearls and jade with the speckling, but the new leaves don't have any of that speckling whatsoever. So that's how you know that it's an enjoy. It doesn't have any of the speckling. It just has the white, pure white segments of the leaf compared to, I'll flash you up here, pearls and jade has the speckling. So you can kind of see the difference there. And over here is a Hoya, which badly needs to be dusted again. I've got some dusting chores to do. Hoya Crimson Princess. No, Crimson Queen, sorry. Got those mixed up. There's a Hoya Crimson Queen with a fully white branch of leaves down there, which is really cute, but I know it's not functional. It's not going to last long, but it's still pretty while it's there. Moving up to the top of that shelf there now, we have couple of plants there. We've got 5. We've got my banana plant back here, my dwarf banana. We have an Alocasia poly, which is also Alocasia amazonica. We have a Hoya crimson princess in the back there, Peperomia rosso, and a Peperomia piccolo banda, which is actually in flower. Let me see if I can get a nice shot of those flowers. And the rosso, it's incredible to me how much of a difference there can be from looking at the top of a plant to looking from below a plant. And this is the perfect example of one that just looks stunning from both the top and bottom for different reasons. And my banana, of course, as you can see, has some crisping. But that new leaf coming in looks very happy. So I think what's happening with this babe is that she just needs a bigger pot. But I don't actually have a bigger one for her yet. So she's just going to have to wait for me. And moving to the kitchen. We've just got a few plants on this little shelf here. I've got pots and pans storage down at the bottom. But we've got a good few here, and I'll go into a little bit more detail with those here now. Firstly, I want to talk about my string of hearts, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'm amazed at how long this has gotten since I've had it. I haven't actually had it all that long, but I'm in love. That's all I can say about this plant is I am in love. I left the matching drip tray to the pot at home. So she's chilling with a little plate underneath her now. That's fine. We've got my wave fern, my bird's nest, Asplenium nidus. Latin is fun. In a handmade pot by a dear friend from Prince Edward Island. Her name is Jaden, and I love that pot so much. We've got a Fernwood Sansevieria here, which you can kind of see. This runner from my Hoya has decided that that is its new trellis. But, you know, it's not going to be able to stay like that forever, of course. And then we've got a Marble Queen pothos up there with some crispy edges, but overall, not too bad. Down here, if we follow the runner, is the actual Hoya pubicalyx. It is the Hoya pubicalyx Splash, as you can obviously tell from the splashes that are all over these leaves. I'm amazed that every new leaf comes out with more and more splashing. Like, this was one of the original leaves that came with it. Not a lot, but still a significant amount for some that I've seen. And, like, look at this. Like, that is incredible. And we've got a new leaf coming here. See if we can silhouette it on the paper towels. Yeah, maybe we can do it. There we are. We've got a new leaf coming out there. I mean, another one on the other side, but one is obviously a little bit more developed than the other. And one right here coming in as well. And a couple there. They're all coming along well. It's growing like a weed. Absolutely love it. It loves the fertilizer that I bought, actually. It's an orchid mist spray, but it's good for any sort of epiphytic plants. So, like the epiphyllum cactus I mentioned before, any Hoyas, anything that would grow on a tree will benefit from that orchid spray. I'm going to do a video on different fertilizers and things that I like to use as well, just a heads up if anyone's interested. And then back here, I'm sure y'all are all eyeing up this beautiful Scindapsus pictus argyraeus, Latin. It's the RG one. But Scindapsus pictus, a lot of people call this either satin pothos or satin philodendron or silver pothos or silver philodendron, but this is not a pothos and it is not a philodendron. It is a scindapsus. It is its own genus of plant with it's still the same family as pothos and philodendron, but it is not a pothos or a philodendron. A lot of people mix that up, or maybe they just don't know that. And over here we have also a ficus benjamina variegata. Don't mind the dishes and the toaster and the kettle there. I've just got her bottom watering on the counter in case any water spills. Another one of the plants I have out here, this time we're in my spare bedroom, is my Aglaonema Siam Aurora. We've got some leaves that look like they're going to die, but just putting out some new ones as well. You can kind of see there's a new leaf coming in, so I'm not too mad at her losing some leaves. And come over to the dressers. Quick little overview here, and then of course some on the windowsill we're going to have a look at. But on this first dresser here, we have a Hoya carnosa crimson queen. We have a variegated spider plant which needs to be spun around. Syngonium Maria. We have the larger of my fernwood sansevieria back here. Let me show you. She has some little babies sprouting up. And then one in the back in this little crevice there. I absolutely love this variety of snake plant. It's so cute how kind of almost cylindrical, but not they are. It's a cute one. We've got my Peperomia Hope here, which actually is looking like she might need some water with how curly these leaves are getting. And my watermelon Peperomia, which is currently getting some water. She's looking very sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's hurting. She took shipping very hard back when I got her shipped, and it's just been taking her forever to recover. I think I might need to invest in something to up her humidity a little bit, because what I have currently is too small to fit her in. So we gotta work on that. Then we have a table full of Peperomia plus a Hoya. So we have a Peperomia clusifolia, Peperomia ginny. We've got a Peperomia ruby glow back here, which, let me see if I can spin her around so you can see her front. Yeah, so somebody actually in an online group I saw call this Christmas taco plant, which is adorable and hilarious. So Christmas tacos, because they're red and green and look like tacos. But yeah, Peperomia ruby glow. We have variegated Peperomia caparata. I am absolutely head over heels for this plant. This might be one of my favorite plants of all time. And can I get you into the thick of the jungle? There's a bunch of new growth coming in. I'm so happy. The pale blush pink of the stems, the petioles, is just incredible. I love it so much. And over here, which is also getting some runner action and some potential new leaf growth, is my Hoya Wyetii. Give her a little spin for you there. On this runner right here, might be able to see the very tip of that runner seems like it might be starting to put out some leaves, so I'm hopeful, but still a gorgeous plant nonetheless. We've got 2 pots here of string of turtles propagations that I got from a lovely friend in the plant group, so shout out to her. We've got Peperomia Napoli Nights, which is from Feathered Serpent. Shout out to Jorge and Mama. It's flowering as well, and a whole bunch of new growth. She actually needs to be trimmed or something badly because she's getting wild. But she's adorable though. We have, so this is the other one that I was talking about when I couldn't remember the name of the peperomia beetle. So that one in the living room was the peperomia beetle. This is the parallel peperomia, and I believe this one might be the peperomia puteolata, and the other one is angulata. But regardless, this is parallel peperomia. That is the right common name for it. And peperomia beetle is the right common name for the other one. Just the scientific names elude me right now. We have also a peperomia caparata green form. I believe emerald ripple is also a name for this one, with a bunch of new leaves coming in. Yeah, a bunch of new leaves coming in there. I'm in love with peperomia, if y'all can't already tell. And here is a tiny little rosso that I have. When I first got that plant, it was pretty big, but it was in 2 separate little root ball clusters. So I decided to pot one up separately and see how I could get them both to root on their own. And they both took really, really well. So now I just have 2 little rossos. Over here now to the windowsill, we've got a collection of cacti. Back over here to the windowsill now, we've got a lovely little collection of cacti and a little succulent over here. So these are all pups off of the very first cactus that I showed in this tour, the Rainbow Bursts Echinobivia, whatever it is. It is adorable and a very prolific baby maker. And then this here is Kalanchoe tomentosa, which is panda plant. It's fuzzy little succulent, and it's a little baby that I propagated. So all in all, compared to my thumb, she's pretty tiny, but she's adorable. So yeah, that's it. So that is it. That is all I have to show in this houseplant tour of my new apartment. When I get another load of plants coming in next time I go home, I will do an updated tour so I can show y'all the new things that I brought home. Or maybe I'll do like a little mini haul, like shopping from my own house kind of thing, to see what I bring from there to the apartment. We'll figure it out as the time gets closer. But as of right now, that's all I have for y'all in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to anyone who's subscribed. Thank you to anyone who's liked the videos. Just even watch the videos, actually, for even if you haven't watched them the whole way through. Thanks for clicking. It means a lot to me, and you can expect to see more of me a little bit more consistently now that I've gotten my life pretty well kind of sorted out on track. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe out there, y'all. See you later.